Good evening everyone, Kalla here. Welcome to my live stream, glad you could make it today. So, it's a new event in Twisted Wonderland. The Fairy Gala remix. Which I believe is an alternate version of last year's Fairy Gala. But I guess we'll see. Hello Heike and hello Nick. How are you both doing? You did one tenful and got nothing. Well, I mean, what do you expect with the one tenful, right? Alright, Mage Stone missing. Good morning, Ignihide! Wait, why is everyone sweating so early in the morning? Maybe there's a new fitness fad? My temperature sensor's showing some abnormal readings. Whoa, it's 30 degrees warmer than usual in the lounge. Is this Fahrenheit or Celsius, Ortho? Because one of those is more concerning than the other. Ortho! Idia, why do you look like the world's ending? I'll tell you why. I had trouble sleeping, so I woke up early, and my room was a furnace. Hello, Haunter. How you doing? My hard drives, my monitors. This is an emergency. I think you use Celsius where you are, do you, Heike? I'm going to guess that this game is using Fahrenheit, just on the basis of it being an American translation. In the same way that they do the various school years in an American way. So it's this hot in the whole dorm? No wonder everyone's panicking. What if the heat destroys my games console? It's a limited edition, you can't even buy it anymore! I can't keep cooling my PC with ice magic any longer. Could someone help me out? I'm busy with my own! If your electronics are that important to you, shouldn't you power them down? How can you expect us to cut off our lifeline, Ortho? Lifeline? Wow, Ignihide students really are tech-dependent. But there's a serious risk they'll suffer heatstroke if this goes on. I wonder if something happened to our air conditioning. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna visit the head mage and ask him to fix it. Please do! Yeah, a whole dome of ideas indeed. Maybe I do belong in Ignihide. There he is. Head mage! We've got trouble in Ignihide. The whole dome's as hot as a sauna. Really? So it's happening in Ignihide too? The temperature has been aberrant in my office as well. It's so cold in there, why feathers could freeze over. Temperature control on this campus is handled by fairies, who draw power from a highly valuable mage stone this school maintains. Perhaps someone's vandalized it in some fashion. I'm heading to check on it now. I'll join you. So, this mage stone you mentioned is stored in the mirror chamber? Yes, it's strictly forbidden for anyone to enter without my Wait a minute. Sweet, merciful Seven! Gone! Gone! The precious mage stone that supplies the fairies with magical power is gone! It is? Shroud, summon every house warden to the head mage's office at once. I'm calling an emergency meeting. Yeah, I think this is a different version of the Fairy Gala events rather than a sequel or anything. I mean, I guess that's why it's called Remix, right? Why is this room so cold? Oh, thank goodness. Octavinel's been unbearably hot all day. I feared I was on the cusp of dehydrating into octo-jerky. It's still far warmer in here than it was in Dear Somnia this morning. Quiet in the office! As you are no doubt aware, we are presently unable to regulate the temperature in buildings across campus. The cause, I'm afraid, is that the mage stone acting as a fairy power supply is missing. Oh, yeah, Ortho mentioned you were yelling about something going missing. Just so. Our campus buildings are kept pleasantly livable all year round by virtue of the magic of fire fairies, water fairies, and wind fairies. Just to name a few of our many fey benefactors. With the mage stone gone, we cannot fuel the fairies' magic, and thus cannot control the campus's air conditioning. I kept it stored in the mirror chamber to avoid this precise scenario, and yet someone has undoubtedly stolen it. The nerve! The audacity! You just said the stolen object is a mage stone that supplies the type of magical power that fairies favour. Wouldn't it follow, then, that the fairies would be our first suspects? As I recall, there's a fae right here among us. A rather tall one at that. So, are you accusing Malleus of thievery? That's a bold implication you're making, Ashen Grotto. Are you suggesting that I, the heir apparent of Briar Valley, would stoop to common thievery? Perish the thought, pardon me. I meant no offence, of course. Dude, the amount of power you could get from a mage stone would be a drop in the bucket to Malleus. He's already a balance-breaking character with that auto-filling MP gauge of his. Yeah, for sure. Nobody here would think for a minute that you're behind this, Malleus. Just, you know, if you happen to know anything relevant, it'd be nice to hear. Does anything Fae-related come to mind? You know, when I was out on a stroll last evening, I did glimpse some fairies around here. The kind I don't see very often. They were palm-sized and clad in leaves. There were two of them, and they were struggling to carry an iridescent stone. Why, that's it! That must be the missing mage stone! Draconia, which way were they headed? Toward the botanical garden, I believe. We depart at once. Everyone, make haste. There we go. Let us take a discreet peek inside. We mustn't alert our fairy suspects. Is it just you or does that author look kind of creepy? You mean because he's got flowers instead of eyes? He looks very appropriately fey. Ah, I see some tiny fairies grouped up. They're definitely carrying an iridescent stone. That's it! That's the precious mage stone that vanished from the mirror chamber. Those fairies clad in leaves are called craft fairies. They make the tools and implements their fey brethren need to change the seasons. Does that mean they stole the mage stone to use in some feat of engineering? Look, now a different fairy is coming up and they're carrying something. Is that a staff? Now they've affixed the mage stone to the tip of the staff. Don't tell me they pilfered such a precious stone simply to use in making accoutrements. Oh hey, a bigger fairy's coming up now. You know she's boss level because she got an escort. My, I believe that's... They've handed the staff to her. It's too tall for the other fairies. It must have been specifically made for her. Oh yeah, it was a crown last time, wasn't it, Heike? I guess it's easier for us to thieve back a staff than it is a crown, right? I've seen that golden fairy before. You have? Shining like gold, she towers over other fairies, her beautiful wings aflutter. Thus she is revered by her diminutive brethren. There's no mistake. That is the queen of the Feyland, where the smaller fairies gather. What? She's the fairy queen? If she's outside her domain this time of year, there's only one likely explanation. Nightraven College's Botanical Garden has been selected as the venue for the Fairy Gala. I beg your pardon? The Fairy Gala? Dear oh dear, goodness gracious me. What's this gala? Sounds like a hoot to me. The Fairy Gala is a festival that the fairies hold to usher in spring. Those who dwell in the Feyland choose a place to hold it on a whim when spring draws near. Supposedly, they celebrate the turning of the season with fancy outfits and a glitzy fashion show to showcase them. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Let's just shoo off the stupid fairies and get the Mage Stone back. No, you can't! The Fairy Gala is no mere celebration of fairy fashion. It is specifically a festival to herald the arrival of spring. If it were to be interrupted or spoiled, that would incur the fairies' wrath. And Twisted Wonderland would be forever enveloped in winter's cold, harsh embrace. When the fairies decide upon a venue, there is no negotiating. That's the trouble with the Fairy Gala. Just what we need. Forces of nature who throw temper tantrums when someone makes them mad. Yeah! Temper tantrums when someone makes them mad. Riddle. Fairies can be surprisingly stubborn and petty. You'll find precious few as mild-mannered as myself. Wow, Their deadpan humor is totally OP. We can hardly chase off the fairies, but sitting around waiting patiently for the gala to end is also not an option. From what I've heard, the Fairy Gala's post-event festivities can easily run 3 months. Without that Mage Stone, temperatures across campus will remain in a state of chaos. We cannot hold classes under such conditions. I say we all work together to take it back. Yeah, work together, these guys. Good joke, Head Mage. Why do you all look so positively unenthused? Here we go with the same old story. A self-important grown-up dumping unpleasant work on his students. You're right that being unable to hold classes is a serious problem, but is it one that students have any business addressing? The head mage is the one responsible for campus affairs. As a student, I fail to see how any of this is my job. Goodness, I know temperatures are in flux, but you needn't all be so unseasonably cold. Even so, I had a feeling you'd respond thusly. So be it. I'm afraid school is cancelled until the Fairy Gala concludes and the air conditioning is fixed. The school's cancelled? Sweet! However, missing 3 months of classes means I won't be able to advance you to your next year of studies. The entire student body will be held back, yourselves included. What? Preposterous! Me? Held back a year? That's unacceptable for me as well. It would be devastating to my public image. There, you see? I'm perfectly fine with cancelling classes, but it simply wouldn't do for all of you. And I, being the kind soul that I am, can hardly disregard your feelings on the matter. This still doesn't sit well with me, but I suppose we have no choice. This is absurd, but with our advancements effectively being held over our heads, our options are limited. We have an agreement! Wonderful! Let's all work to overcome this adversity together. Yeah, there are a disproportionate amount of terrible events at Night Raven College, aren't there? I do like the snow effect there. So, in review, you have 2 tasks. 1. See the Fairy Gala through to completion. 2. Take back the Mage Stone. These objectives must be achieved in tandem. With that established, I open up the floor to discussion. Hey, Malleus, you're a Fae like the Queen, right? What if you went up and were like, hey, excuse me, that stone is valuable to us, can we have it back? The Fae are no monolithic entity. We come in many different varieties. There are Flora Fae, Light Fae, Fauna Fae. Everything from Thistle Fae to dragons like myself fall under that same broad umbrella. We come in different sizes and speak different languages. Not all of us get along either, much like humans, really. Were I to so much as set foot in their gala, those tiny fairies would grow frightened and scatter to the winds. Some help you are. If reasoning with them is off the table, then our only option left is force. That that would only aggravate matters. Perhaps we should explore methods of taking it back peacefully without being noticed. I have seen a lot of variations of that meme, I guess. If it's the meme I'm thinking of. And I'm not surprised that NRC is in that part of it. If only, if an inconspicuous solution is our aim, then what if we crafted an imitation staff and swapped it for the real one? Here's a little inside secret. Most things in movies are just props. Of course, they're convincing enough to fool lay people as long as no one looks too closely. You make a fine observation. As far as I could tell, those fairies were only regarding the Mage Stone as a pretty rock. A counterfeit would go unnoticed as long as it remains aesthetically identical. But how would you even make the swap? You saw how well guarded the Queen was. How is an outsider going to get close to her without drawing a bunch of aggro? The Fairy Gala is a large-scale event, yes? Surely they can't keep track of every single attendee. Getting close to the Queen on the day of the gala wouldn't draw any undue suspicion. Sneaking into the Fairy Gala, getting a hold of the staff and swapping it out for the fake. That's quite the cunning plan. However, there's one snag. It hinges on having some manner of magic spell or item that disguises someone as a fairy. A prospect as unrealistic as it is in stock! Whoa there! I recognize that voice. Yeah, 'cause it's Sam. Greetings, head mage, my little imps. You seem to be in a bit of a bind. Hello, Sam. Why am I not surprised you have an internal radar for desperate customers? Sorry. Business opportunities. Because you do as well, Hazel? My friends in the shadows tipped me off, actually. Let me guess, headmate, is this what you're in the market for? A vial full of golden powder, hmm? I take it that's fairy dust. Why, yes. Good eye, my horned imp friend. Fairy dust is the source of power for the fairies living in Feyland. The way I hear it, no dust, no flying, fluttering, or even floating for them. Feyland fairies keep themselves coated in the stuff at all times. Which means, conversely, anyone with fairy dust sprinkled on them counts as part of the crew. It looks more like liquid to you. Well, if a fine enough powder isn't going to be very distinguishable from that anyway, right? With this, you could sneak into the party like you were planning. I hear the Feylanders treasure fairy dust so much, they appoint an official dust guard to safeguard it. And yet you have an entire vial of it in your hand. How do you plan to acquire it, Hi, Thomas. You're trying to get Gala Shearwater, are you? huge metal magnet. I mean, that would probably do it. I mean, unless Idia made Ortho of a non-magnetic material. I will say good luck. And good luck to all of you who are trying to get him. It's a pretty card, so I'd love to pull myself, but I need to save. Trade secrets, I'm afraid. Normally, I'd prefer to spare such expenses, but the fairy gala leaves me in no position to refuse. I'll be purchasing that fairy dust. Bill it to the school. Thanks. Pleasure doing business with you. Well, that takes care of one problem. We have our means of disguising someone as a fairy. But if this was a tiny vial, this dust won't be enough to cloak every house warden present. We'll have to nominate someone to infiltrate the fairy gala. Yeah, I'm glad that the next event is a rerun. For various reasons, Thomas. I'm also glad that I pulled Reggie the first time round. The gala has a different theme each year, and all guests are expected to dress accordingly. That way, it's not just the fashion show participants that get to have fun with the concept. I see. So we'll have to wear something that fits if we want to blend in. As it happens, I have it on good authority that the theme of this year's Fairy Gala is... Evolution. Evolution. Going by the textbook definition, that would mean something like change, or successive developments. That's a rather broad theme for a fashion show. This is tricky. Who cares what the theme is? Just send in Bill, he'll clean up. Fashion shows are his thing. Excuse me. Don't even try volunteering me. Someone of my stature could hardly do a fashion show for free. And the theme is integral to the show. I couldn't just ignore it and parade myself around. That would be frowned upon. We have to take this seriously. From my perspective, you are all seeds who have yet to sprout. Nothing could be fresher. What I mean is that you're evolving every day. Any one of you could fit the theme. That's not exactly convincing from someone who's clearly gunning to sit this out. Ever consider getting off your tail and cleaning up your fellow Fae's mess? You especially have room to grow, King Scholar. You may be particularly well suited to the theme. Oh, shut up. I am gonna take that from the most useless guy in the room. You know, the one that sends fairies running. Ah, here we go again. Don't you guys ever get tired of sniping at each other? Say, now there's an idea. Why don't you sneak into the gala, Radish Sprout? Aren't you always bragging that you're on the cutting edge of tech, while everyone else is behind the times? How about that? We've got a perfect fit for the evolution theme right here. What? Me? Absolutely nothing doing. Going out in front of people for the explicit purpose of showing off is pure nightmare fuel for me. Besides, do any of you think I'm flashy enough to grab attention at a fashion show? I mean, your hair's quite attention-grabbing, Idia. Plus, I remember seeing you in that suit for the for that event. Yep, silence all around. Not sure how I feel about you all going silent like that. You're all just trying to foist the work off onto one another. We have a campus-wide crisis on our hands. Your level of irresponsibility is appalling. Truer words were never spoken, Headmage. It's deplorable, really. Then will you step up and do it, Ashen Grotto? Ah, well. You see, while I put a great deal of effort into adapting, I've still lived on land a relatively short time. And when I get nervous, I sometimes have trouble walking. Oh, dear. I'm feeling a bit weak-kneed even now. That's a horrible lie, Hazel. Yeah, Idia looks great in the groom outfit. And in Harveston with the braid as well, yeah. I couldn't bear it if one inopportune stumble caused all our hard work to go down the drain. Therefore, I must regretfully refrain from participating this time. What about you, Rosehearts? I cannot do it. At least Riddle's just going to straight up say no. It wouldn't do for a house warden to be absent from their dorm during an emergency. I must safeguard my dorm mates. All right then. Oh, Atom, you'll go, won't you? Sure, I'm down for... I mean... I'd like some time to consider it. Pardon? Those are the last words I ever expected you to say. This sounds like something Jamil has drummed into him. Jamil told me to say that the next time you asked me to do something. So I'll have to go back to my dorm and discuss it with Jamil. There's no way Jamil will let him go. So, this group's a bust. We're getting nowhere. Wait a minute. If none of us are suited to the theme... why not pick someone else? What do you mean? Just dump the job on some freshmen. Yeah, I was just thinking, aren't all the cards this time round first years? Except Silver. Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember who the fourth one was off the top of my head. I forgot it was Silver. Freshman? They're certainly green, or to put a positive spin on it, they possess ample evolutionary potential. But would it be safe to give an infiltration mission to such a group of students? Relax. We'll just get one of the super active freshmen from my dorm to handle it. Like Jack or someone. You make it sound so simple. For him it is simple. He doesn't have to do anything. How inconsiderate to his students. Inconsiderate? How about you not assume our Frosh couldn't handle it? Oh, I know what's going on. You're jealous. All those herbivores with zero initiative, who are totally helpless without their house warden. People like that could never handle this job. But my dorm's different. I know they'll get it done. You couldn't possibly be referring to Heart's level. Hey, I never specified. But if that's where your mind went, well, your words, not mine. My freshmen are diligent, rule-abiding card soldiers. Are they? Diligent, huh? That's a charitable way to say they can't think for themselves. How dare you! I won't stand for this slander. All right, the job is to sneak into the fairy gala and swap out the staff for a replica, correct? Fae are highly sensitive to magic. They'll immediately catch anyone who used magic to switch the staff. But my dorm has someone who can switch it without any magic at all. Oh yeah? Who? You can't possibly have anyone that competent. Then you've never met Ace Traveller. He's quite skilled with his hands. Why, he performed an incredible magic trick just the other day. He moved a coin from his right hand to his left in the blink of an eye. I was amazed at his dexterity. Riddle. You realise there were 2 coins. You realise that's how sleight of hand works. Ace Truggy and Hazel, the definition of con men. Yep. And also I agree that Silver is a very good boy. Indeed. There's no question Ace could swap out the staff without anyone noticing. And he would certainly use his own judgment in doing so. Could Jack do that? Riddle! I can't have you insulting Jack like that! Okay, Jack probably couldn't pull off a trick like that. Because Jack is too honest of sleight of hand. Worry not, Ace will be much better at the job than Jack. Great. I'm feeling reassured already. This is a prestigious job that only Ace can do. I have little doubt he'll be delighted he was chosen to represent Heart's level in this endeavour. Yes, delighted. Delighted is definitely what Ace will be. Just as delighted as everyone currently in this room. Yeah, I guess Dex is not Jack's main stat. Leona just played Riddle like a fiddle. It's supremely obvious Ace will view this as an unwelcome chore. Or it would be if Riddle took 2 seconds to think about it. Hey, if Taskmaster Riddle's fine with it, I've got no complaints, just as long as it doesn't involve me. Then I believe we have a consensus. So we're going with Team Jace? KK, GG. Team Jace, huh? You finalized the plan without asking for any of their input. What a blatant trial in absentia. Oh yeah? Well, if you've got a problem with it, you're free to go instead. I never said I had a problem with it. I have faith in each and every Night Raven College student. You're all tremendously talented. I'd trust any of you with this task, truly. Wow, the head mage. Riddle, he's only saying that because he doesn't want to do it himself. You're going to ignore the use of ship names in game as team names. Yeah, that's exactly where my brain went as well. I was like, Idia, are you really going to name that team like a ship? It is certainly not, because I can't be bothered to expend any more brain power on this, I assure you. That is the face of doubt. But as you bestowed this job upon the chosen freshman, I hold you responsible for the outcome. This House Warden meeting is hereby adjourned. King Scholar, Rosehearts, explain the matter to Howl and Trappeler, and bring them here if you would. Reality isn't Lydia's strong suit. Well, yeah. I have to sneak into the fairies' party to save the school? This is ridiculous, Leona. You can't just volunteer me for an important job without asking first. What a vehement opposition. I trust you explained the matter properly. Cut the yapping. You could learn a thing or two from the herbivore next to you. Look at him, as quiet and still as a tortoise. Real talk, I'm not a fan of this either. But the House Warden was all like... I selected you for this critical mission because I hold you in such high esteem. Surely you wouldn't refuse. Isn't that right, Ace? Well? Yes, House Warden. Did you have a dispute before coming here? Yeah. I tried to say no, and he got so mad he nearly had my head. I should have suspected he was going to drop some lousy job on me when I saw what a good mood he was in. That's what I get for being all smug and doing that magic competition. Welcome back, Kaike. Was it that good of a magic trick? It was amateur stuff, really, but still. It was one of the few times the House Warden openly complimented me, so I may have gotten carried away. So you let a little praise go to your head. Man, talk about shallow. Look, count me out. This is the school's problem, not mine. You guys can clean your own tails. There's nothing I hate more than getting chummy with others. Anyway, I'm going back to the dorm. Jack? This mission isn't about palling around. In fact, it requires the exact opposite. Huh? What we need is someone who can lead the pack. Someone with solid judgment and initiative. I figured you had both of those things. There are a lot of students in Savannah Claw, but I picked you. Really? Because of my judgment and initiative? Oh well, yes, I was wrong. I'll have to find some other freshmen. Sorry for expecting more out of you. Who else would be good? Wait! When you put it like that, how could I refuse? You say this is something only I can do, then I'll make sure it gets done. I'm glad to hear it. How shallow. Howl, Traveller, I trust you both accept. Even if I said no, I'd still be miserable tending to the roses and animals in this heat. Yeah, Leona is very good at knowing exactly what to say. To make people do things. Okay, fine. Since I'd suffer either way, might as well make sure the house warden knows me. I'll get the job done. Wonderful! Now that's what I call a fresh evolution. I can finally rest easy while patrolling the school. I'm counting on you boys. These chapters are using a lot of resources. Am I gonna have enough? I have to use a magic trick to swap out some staff at the fairy gala, huh? And a fairy's gonna be holding it to boot. That's way easier said than done. How am I supposed to pull this off? If some rando walked up to her all like, "Pardon me, but I have a cracking good magic trick I'd like to show you," she'd immediately suspect something. Plus, she's the fairy queen, right? Could we even get close to someone that important? If maybe some lessons on stream we might have to. Good question. This isn't that hard, just make the queen want to meet you. Huh? How would we do that? The fashion show is the main event of this whole gala. So all you have to do is get out there and strut your stuff. Impress the queen and the rest of the audience, and they'll be clamoring to talk with you. What? I thought we were going as regular attendees. There's no way we could do a fashion show, let alone strut anything. Of course you couldn't. What are you, stupid? Did you think we expected you to do it all on your own? Arrogant much. Ouch! Wow, way to talk to the guy you personally nominated. Don't worry, we've come up with a way to make your performance a success. Today's your lucky day, boys. We called in the most reliable backup you could ask for. Backup? You mean... Hey, get out here already. Do not give me orders when I'm doing you a favor. Training pups is my entire job. I'll see to it that they're properly trained for this occasion. It's... these two, unsurprisingly. Bill and Professor Cruel. Since this is a fashion show, we figured these two could probably cobble together something halfway decent for you. You could be less dismissive, you know. Normally I would have turned down a request from you in a heartbeat. But I won't stand for any sloppy fashion shows to be put on in my presence. On my pride as a model, I'll make sure you boys are fit to walk the runway. You're gonna coach us personally, Bill? I'm honored. Yeah. I had a feeling it would be you two the moment he said backup. I mean, Bill's a professional model, and Professor Cruel's a stickler for style, so who else? Who's that behind you? I thought it was just you two. Yeah. Oh, who's this gonna be? Is this going to be one of our other two boys? So, Silver maybe? Coming in now. Okay, it's both of them, I think. I'll give this my very best. Dude, for real? It's gotta be Silver and Arthur, right? That's who I decided to go with. Just as a guess, because I've got to pick a voice. Coming in now. I'll give this my very best. Dude, for real? Hey, success! Silver and Ortho. You're gonna help too. No offense, but neither of you strike me as the fashion show type. It was our idea to bring Silver in. You two lack knowledge about Fae, and the subject matter's not covered in the freshman curriculum. What? You mean people like Malleus and Lilia? There are many different kinds of Fae, actually. The ones at the fairy gala are smaller fairies. They live more secluded from humans than Malleus and Lilia do. Their culture differs greatly from human culture, from their habits to their values to their way of thinking. Basically, if you assume all Fae are like that overgrown lizard, you've got another thing coming. But if you had an authority on Fae with you, they could step in before you did something boneheaded. Right. I'm ready to give my very best for the good of the school. Okay, hold up. You said you chose freshmen because of the evolution theme. But then you asked Silver, which means... sophomores! Well, the thing is... we actually reached out to Sebek first, since he has close relatives who are Fae. But... he wouldn't leave Malleus's side? Or he's dying from the cold, because he's a crocodile. Never! He immediately refused and started arguing with Leona. Okay. Yeah. It's pretty easy to imagine, actually. You call that arguing? It was nothing but a crocodile snapping at me. He went on and on about how Fane knowledge would be wasted on greedy humans. Sebek is also not good for a stealth mission. Yeah, yep. Sebek is exactly the wrong person for a stealth mission. Diasomnia is freezing right now. Considering Sebek can't tolerate the cold, it must be unbearable for him. His nose was visibly running, and yet he refused to accede to our simple request. His stubbornness is a headache even at club meetings. I'm sorry. I'll make sure to talk to him about his attitude later. Sebek can be a bit hot-tempered and prejudiced at times. At times, Silver. At times. He's hot-headed all the time. Plus, his mother and grandmother are nocturnal fae, creatures of the night. Huh. The fairies who threw the gala are diurnal, and they fear nocturnal fae. It's possible Sebek might frighten them. He would be unsuited to the mission. Seriously? But they're all fae, jeez! Why does this have to be a whole thing? Ace? Ace? You're about to have it explained to you why this is a thing. Please, don't misunderstand. They are very friendly. I don't know about that. No, really. They're extremely kind-hearted. Once you befriend one, they'll protect you to the very last. They're just a bit skittish and wary of strangers, so they're harsh with outsiders. Is that not what Ace would call a whole thing? I'm getting nervous about our chances now. Don't worry. I'm not Fae, but I was raised in Briar Valley. I know plenty about them. Yeah, it does vary by the Fae, doesn't it? Lore-wise. I'm sorry for not being a freshman, but I implore you to let me join you regardless. Are you sure? You'd be signing up for trouble. I don't mind. It's to help the school. Silver, you're such a good boy. Head pats for Silver, because he's such a good boy. Besides, it would be a good opportunity to improve human and Fae relations. I'd like to facilitate that. Jeez, talk about wholesome. I can't believe we've got such a straight arrow at this school. You know, I'm starting to think you'd be way better than that stubborn loudmouth. I'd be glad to have you. Welcome aboard. Extremely bad feeling. So, Ortho, did Leona and Riddle reach out to you too? No, my presence was requested by Bill Schoenheit and Professor Divas Cruel. Is this the first time we've learned Professor Cruel's first name? Ortho is essential for your success at the fashion show. Do you recall the theme? Evolution, right? Yes, I've been pondering that concept ever since Sam shared it with us. What does the host wish to express with this theme? And what do the guests hope to see? It's on the website. But I think this is the first time we've heard it actually in the game, right? Can't we just wear something that works and call it good? No, Ace. Foolish pup. Oh, it's in the game bios as well. You can tell how much I've looked at those, huh? You cannot simply don a flashy outfit and showboat around. The most significant part of dressing for a fashion show is how you construct and deconstruct the theme. Yes, how you interpret the concept is key, which brings me to my inspiration. A being who is constantly evolving, clad in the latest technology. And more to the point, one who underwent a splendid rebirth, more emblematic of change than any living person. No one is more fitting for the theme of evolution than Ortho Shroud. You can imagine my surprise when they showed up at my dorm talking about a fashion show. That pointless house warden meeting is finally over. Good work, Idia. I only managed to make it through because you were running cold air. Thanks for that. You're welcome. Still, a fairy gala at our school? Things are getting pretty wild. No kidding, they even asked me to take part in the fashion show. Their lack of consideration is mind-boggling. Wow, they did? Yeah, I guess you're right. I can't imagine what they expected, but I kinda would have liked to see you do it. Me? Dude, are you kidding? Who would voluntarily sign up to parade themselves in front of a crowd? If anything, I feel bad for Jack and Ace getting stuck with such a garbage job. R.I.P. those guys. You think? It sounds really neat to me. It's not every day we get to see the fairy gala. And a fashion show sounds like fun. Hey, someone's at the door. Coming! Just getting the lock. That was slow. I expect my dogs to come immediately when I call them. Oh, hello, Professor Divas Cruel. What brings you here? We have something important to discuss with you, Ortho. Phil Schoenheit, you're here as well. And you both want to speak with me? Oh no, I've got an extremely bad feeling about this. Danger, Ortho, danger, run! Idia was very opposed to the idea. He said it was far too dangerous. But I really wanted to go to the gala, so he eventually caved after I pleaded enough. Your fake crying was rather impressive, I must say. Thank you, Phil Schoenheit. Hearing you say that makes me feel better about my acting. Now that I think about it, Ortho does fit the evolution theme perfectly. You'll be a huge help for sure. I'm happy to be here. You won't regret bringing me along. Glad to have you with us. Now that we've settled the roster, we haven't a moment to lose. We need to start preparing for the show straight away. We'll begin by getting the four of you proper outfits. Right. We've done all we can to help. The future of our school lies in your hands. I'm counting on you, Ace. I give you my word that when you return, you'll find not a single rose has wilted in your absence. I hope you show some proper appreciation when I get back. Just do what you usually do. Don't psych yourself up and screw up. No, sorry, don't psych yourself out and screw up. Yes, sir, you can count on me. Oop. I'm gonna need some more things. Lessons on stream it is.
Yosh, 集中してやろうな。
Does anyone in chat know how many chapters we're looking at for this part of the story?
常識っすよ。
さっさと進めろ。
やった。
予習してきた。予習してきた。
歴史は大事だぞ。
17.
今日はここまで。各自しっかり復習する。
Okay, we've got two different answers here, 17 and 13. Okay.
知ってることばっかり退屈な授業だ。
口答えはなしだ。
どうすか先生。腹の足しにもなんねえ。
17 was the original one. Okay.
予習してき
So
た。
I'm not going to have to do too much in the way of lessons
予
on
習
stream
してき
then.
た。教科書なんていらねえな。無能な王には苦労する。
王様なんていらないっす。
今日はここまで。各自しっかり復習するよ。
知ってることばっかり退屈な授業だ。
死後は許さない。
やった。
Second half will be later. So 13 for now with a twist tune to end on. Okay.
知っておる。
I mean, I'll have more time to save up dust for the
抜き打ち
for
で
the second half.
ぼーっとしてる暇ないっすよ。
Given that I'm probably going to stream that
ぼ
next
ーっとしてる暇ないっすよ。
Monday. Next Monday.
学園長、真面目にやろう。
Oh, this is going.
ミスで目立つのはまずいっす。
It's getting a little dark in here.
マナーのなっていないことだ。
良い授業であった。
Close the curtains.
これぞ
Don't
が
open anymore.
死後は許さない。
抜き打ちです。ミスで目立つのはまずいっす。
関心関心。
あ、インク切れた。
常識だろ。勘に助けられた。
知っておる。
常識だろ。正解だろ。
居眠りをしていた生徒は分かっている。
お疲れさん。次もこの調子でな。
授業を始めよう。
どうすか先生。
赤点はまずいしな。
教科書なんていらね
早く終われ。
正解だろ。
トレインよ。睨むな。
女王様には従えない。
まったくマナーのなっていないことだ。
良い授業であった。これぞ学園生活じゃな。
Yeah. Let's do a refill now. And do a full run.
集中。
死後は許さない。
金持ちはこれだから。
I was like, should I go and do the next chapter now and then come back and do more? No, let's just do them fully.
まあまあかな。
And I'm actually going to go and refill my water.
女王様には従えな
I
い。
will be back in a sec.
女王様には従えない。
今はそういうのか。
無欲な王だ。
まったくマナーのなっていないことだ。
今日もまた一つ新しい知識が身についた。
死後は許さない。
豊かな国か。王様なんていらないっす。
猫に引っかかれた。常識だろ。
Have returned.
豊かな国か。
Do chapters intermittently so I don't waste lesson materials. Well, I'm gonna have to grind some lessons
居
anyway.
眠りをしていた生徒は
Later,
分かっている
知ってることばっかで退屈な授業だ。
Step of the board. Yep. Yeah, you got to see the
口答えはなしだ。
soul has left the body appearance, as it were.
常識だろ。おい、寝るな。
励んでますね。
おう、ゆっくりしていけ。おう、ゆっくりしていけ。
ぼーっとしてる暇ないっすよ。
Also, yeah, you can see that I
ぼーっ
haven't
としてる暇ないっすよ。
greeted the new birthday rug
今
yet.
日はここまで。各自しっかり復習する。
That's because I'm just leaving off doing light lessons until I have the next event that
こ
asks
れ
me
ぞ
to
学
do
園
them.
生。
Just because otherwise it feels like a waste. Doing them when I don't have anyone to work on the vignettes for.
抜き打ちです。ミスで目立つのはまずいっす。関心関心。
へえ。
知っておる。
静かに。な。忘れ物はないか？
Whereas history lessons I need to do so many of.
あ、インク切れた。
I have so much leveling to
へ
do.
え。
And I mean also alchemy lessons, but
マナーのなっていないことだ。
today is a day where I've only got like one character in the set that I have an SSR of, and I
死後は許
believe
さない。
it's Jade today,
容
right?
量が大事っすよ。
And his
なるほどな。
his buddy levels are maxed out for
You
all
know,
three of
no,
the
Yoja.
characters that he's with. So
へえ。やるときゃやるでしょ。
そうか。
王様ね。
so today is a history lesson day, basically.
居眠りをしていた生徒は分かっているな。
置いていかれないようにしねえと。
授業を始めよう。
金持ちはこれだから。
歴史は
Like that,
儚
I
い。
like that line from Ruggy. Rich people.
金持ちはこれだから。
先生、いいですか？
権力者は嫌いっす。
ほら、居眠りするな。歴史は大事だぞ。
今日はここまで。各自しっかり復習するよ。
お疲れさん。次もこの調子でな。
死後は許さない。
余裕っすよ。
Also, yeah, I am still enjoying the
歴史は大事だぞ。
歴史は儚い。
Leona someone head.
これぞ真実よ。
リーダーは大事だ。教科書なんていらね
権力者は嫌いっす。
居眠りをしていた生徒は分かっているな。
今日もまた一つ新しい知識が身についた。
Yeah, Tom Callum didn't have a broom and flying lessons. That's funny.
口答えはなしだ。
豊かな国か。
Oh yeah, the event furniture. It's
王様なんていらないっす。
as far as I read, we have a
Awesome
limited
amount of
amount of time to make that event furniture, right?
流れを理解すれば簡単だ。
I need to look at what we need
励ん
for
で
that.
ますね。
お
Because I get
You
so
finished,
unlucky with the large
学園長
crystals.
どうしてここに？
I'm hoping we don't need those.
学園長、真面目にやろう。
居眠りをしていた生徒は分かっている。
知ってることばっかり退屈な授業だ。
Oh good, it doesn't require any of the dome crystals. That should be fine.
抜き打ちです。ぼーっとしてる暇ないっすよ。ぼーっとしてる暇ないっすよ。関心関心。豊かな国
Should
か。
be able to make this furniture, that furniture with like
わ
no
かりやすい
issue
先
at
生
all.
だ。
腹の足しにもなんね
The one problem with the guest room furniture is I'm running out of space.
え。余裕っすよ。
まったくマナーのなっていないことだ。
良い
We
授
have
業
way
であ
too
った。
much furniture for that guest
これ
room.
ぞ学園生活じゃな。
死後は許さない。
へえ。
勉強になるな。
容量が大事っすよ。
へえ。静かに。
容量が大事っすよ。
I still have some of the
王様。
some furniture that I want to make, but
居眠りをしていた生徒は
the game
分
just
かって
doesn't
いる。
want to give me large house level crystals at all.
今日もまた一つ新しい知識が身についた。
Alright. We've got a bunch more dust, let's go. 90 is not going to be quite enough to get through all this if we've got 13 chapters. But we'll see how far this gets us. Suitable attire is essential if you want to attend the fairy gala. And more importantly, no pups of mine will be seen looking unkempt at a formal affair. The theme is a challenge, but I'll have evolution written over them once I'm through with them. I look forward to seeing your work, Professor Crawl. If you're done changing, come on out, pups. Yes, sir. Love the flowers in the hair. And the whole silver theme, it looks very good. Well, does my outfit look fly or what? Personally, I'd say it's a slam dunk. And aces in gold. With a little flower crown. Jack's wearing 5 inches. What? Is Jack wearing 5-inch heels? Good on him, I guess. If he can walk. Did I put everything on right? Silver is, of course, in silver. Ooh. Love the eye makeup. Very good. At least you're all properly groomed now. I have to hand it to you, Professor Cruel. The white cloth symbolises a potential that is yet to be dyed or influenced by anything else. The possibilities of such a clean slate are endless to the observer. He's the only one wearing such tall heels. How tall does that make Jack? Because he's tall in the first place. He must be practically a giant in 5-inch heels. And that's what evolution is all about. It's nice having a proper fashionista here to save me a lengthy breakdown. So, not to rain in your fashion parade, but he's close to Malleus now. Ooh. Does Malleus's official height include his horns or not? What is it? I don't see our main star anywhere. Ortho said he was getting changed in a separate room. You think he's okay? Ortho doesn't really wear clothes, does he? It's more like he swaps bodies. With all due respect, Professor, aren't machines a little outside your wheelhouse? 6'6". Whew. Tall. What's this? A mere pup concerned about me? Indeed, Ortho Shroud's outfit can't be made with a needle and thread like yours. But I've come to a realization in my time as a classic car buff. We are learning things about Professor Cruel. He likes classic cars. Steel can be just as beautiful and soul-stirring as fabric. Hey guys, I'm ready. I love the wings, I love them so much. Sorry, it took a bit to change over my body. What do you think? Whoa! Dang! Is that really you, Ortho? For a second I thought you were a fairy flying around. For sure. You're so shiny and sparkly you could easily be mistaken for a noble fae. You might be small, but no one could ignore you. Talk about a striking presence. From the fluctuations in everyone's pulse and line of sight, I can tell you're not lying. I'm not a fashion expert, but it looks like this design's made a strong impression. It's a perfect fusion of modern craftsmanship and traditional motifs. Jack went from 6'8". That's more than a foot taller than me. That's tall. That's also a long way to fall if he trips in those heels. The design heightens and pushes both forward. This is evolution. You've outdone yourself, Professor Cruel. I'm absolutely awestruck. All I did was hand Ortho my design. He's the one who turned it into a mechanical body. Good boy. You provided me with amazing source material. Thanks, Professor Cruel. I've never made my own exterior before. It was a very rewarding experience. You made all that all by yourself? In such a short span of time, you've got skill, dude. Now that I've seen Ortho, I feel like we can actually pull this off. Quiet! Settle down, pups. It's time to get down to brass tacks. Yes, while practicing for the show is important, we need to work out a plan of action first. Right, we gotta figure out how to swap the Queen's staff for a fake. I mean, first we need a fake. That's like step one, right? Ooh. Jack! He's here!
きらびやかなショーなんてらしくねえとは思うが、学園の平穏を取り戻すためだ。腹くくらねえとな。
3, 2, 1, poof. Jack's taller than the eels? You know, I don't think I expected that. I also didn't expect that the eels were different heights. You're swapping out the real staff for a fake? That would mean deceiving the fairies. What if we tried talking to them first? If we explain the issue, they might return the Mage Stone on their own. Silver, you're such a nice boy. You're softer than cashmere. You clearly have no idea how critical this mission is. Yeah, seriously. If the fairies get upset, they'll call off the gala, which means no spring for us. You can't expect us to risk all that by telling the truth. But also, Ace, you could potentially be risking all that by swapping in a fake. Also, I like looking at these two's costumes next to one another. Because, like, Ace has got the fabric sash over his left shoulder, and then Silver's got those flowers on his right shoulder, and those two really work together, design-wise. Technically, the fairies stole from us first. We're just taking back what's ours. I mean, the rest of the staff isn't ours, but... I'm with Ace. We're way past the point of getting cold feet and backing down. I've run some simulations as well. The plan to swap out the staff has the highest probability of a successful outcome. Alright, I can tell from your insistence that you feel strongly about it. My father always told me we should respect each other's beliefs. I'll abide by his teachings. Okay, so, I believe the plan was to use a magic trick to make the switch. What kind of magic trick was Riddle Roseheart's referring to at the House Warden meeting? Oh, it's nothing fancy. How about a little demonstration? Sure. Alright. I had something in my pocket I could use. There we go. Okay, take a good look at the coin in my right hand. I'm gonna make this coin disappear without any spellcasting. 3, 2, 1, poof. Oh, wait a second. My phone's gone into night mode. At a very convenient time with that poof. Give me a second, I'm gonna fix it. Alright, we're back to regular lighting conditions. Ah, it's gone. Where are you looking? Ta-da! Now the coin's in my left hand. But your left hand was empty before. You really didn't cast a spell for that? Nope. It's just a good old-fashioned magic trick. Very skillful. No wonder Riddle recommended you. That's so neat. It'll be super easy to use that trick and switch the staff, right? Yeah, Ortho, except that that staff isn't going to fit up his sleeve. And no, I can't just magic something like that away with zero prep. It's called a magic trick because trickery is involved, otherwise it'd be just spellcasting. Let me break down what I did. I slipped the coin in my right hand up my sleeve real quick like. Then I slipped a coin into my left hand while you were all focused on my right. Ah, so that's the trick. It's surprisingly easy to miss. That's called misdirection, right? That word came up when I ran a search on magic trick terminology. Creating magic-like phenomena without using magic. It's so nifty. Fascinating stuff. Yeah, I do... While I know how a lot of magic trick stuff works, it's still really impressive when people do it. Getting into it, are you? The most important things for magic tricks are manual dexterity and directing people's focus. When you don't want people looking at something, you gotta make sure their focus is somewhere else. But a staff is a lot bigger than a coin. Would you be able to swap it out as easily as you just did in front of a crowd? No, Otho, because as I just said, a staff won't fit up his sleeves. That's definitely a concern. And since the staff belongs to the Queen, she'll probably be careful to hold on to it. Diverting the audience's attention will be no small matter. Yeah, just going, hey look, the coin's gone, probably won't fly here. We'll need more than a magic trick. This calls for a full-blown illusion. What do you mean, illusion? That's the term for big, fancy magic acts, quick changes, water trap escapes, teleporting, levitation, all that jazz. Oh, quick changes are so cool. I love quick changes. But I highly doubt this group could pull one off. I like that idea. Let's do an illusion. Were you even listening? I just said we couldn't do it. You can't give up on something before you try. Dude, come on. It's easy to spout cool one-liners like you know what's up, but you're all noobs at this. Sure, I'm good, but I'm no pro. There's no way I could do a large-scale illusion. If you could, I'd pass your number to a producer I know. Oh, I see. Oh no! Bad author. Wait! What if we relied on my technology instead of your skill? Huh? The problems that I have with Twist Tunes, guys, is it's getting the full combos. I'll always just miss on like one thing. You know, and also anything that's purple notes. I'm bad at purple notes. Illusion and camouflage. Speaking of Twist Tunes, if we utilize my cutting-edge tech, we could produce visual effects equivalent to illusions. And then Ace could swap out the staff in the meantime. He's the best with his hands. So Ace would perform the actual magic trick, while Ortho does the misdirection part and distracts all the fairies. The burden's shared that way. It's a good plan. Yeah, actually, nice thinking, Ortho. Okay, so what kind of illusion do you think you could do? Good question. Thinking about the examples you gave before, they were all illusions performed on people rather than objects, right? Will I wager a pull? I don't know if I should. Because I have no idea when the Portfest event is coming. And since I know I've got Leona's birthday in July as well, I don't think I can pull on this banner. Yeah, they got more wow factor, you know? Lots of magicians will pick a volunteer from the audience to make the act seem legit. After all, if they use an assistant, people will just assume the assistant's in on the trick too. Of course, a lot of times the volunteer is in on it, but hey. Yep, that's called a plant. I see. Okay, then how about this? We pick a member of the audience, namely a fairy, we bring them up on the runway, and then we make them disappear. Make them disappear? You make it sound so simple, but can you actually do that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can use projection mapping to do that, Crawl. Oh, totally. I'll just use optical camouflage. Or that. There are a lot of different types, but naturally, I wouldn't use anything magic-based for this. I'll project the surrounding scenery onto the participant to make it look like they've vanished. So yeah, basically projection mapping. I call it illusion camouflage. What do you think? But wouldn't you need heavy equipment for projection? No, Bill, I'm pretty sure that Ortho can do that with just his body. Never underestimate Ignihide's technical prowess. It'll be a piece of cake to fit some miniature drones with projectors. Oh, miniature drone. Oh yeah, of course, because Ortho can't just do it all himself because it's got to be invisible from all angles. So yeah, mini drones. Let's go. If I make their outer plating look like flowers, they'll blend right in. Wow, you've covered every angle. All the participant will see is a few lights shining down on them. They'll have no idea they vanished from the audience's view. It still sounds like a challenge. You think it'll really work? Under normal circumstances, people would spot the trick immediately. But fashion shows use bright lights and the audience is seated farther away, so it's actually feasible. Ooh, are we gonna have problems with the participant's shadow though, with the bright lights? Yes, I think it's an excellent plan. Admittedly, my own simulations show it has barely a 30% probability of success. 30%, huh? Not very promising when the whole school's riding on it. We'll need to get the audience more excited to improve our odds. Every living creature has lapses in judgment when they're excited. It's the perfect time to do something sneaky. I getcha. That reminds me of this one magic show my family took me to when I was a kid. It had a whole lot of razzle-dazzle. I remember they brought a celebrity out on stage, and me and my brother got super hype. In hindsight, I guess that was one way they got the audience excited so the show could be more convincing. A celebrity, huh? Ooh, that's it! We should ask the Queen to be our volunteer. What? That's a terrible idea, Arthur. That's a terrible idea. She's the biggest celebrity among the fairies, right? That would get everyone excited for sure. Yes, because making the Queen disappear is definitely not going to get you murdered by her bodyguards. And it would allow us to get closer to the staff. That raises our chance of success to 48%. True, the Queen's adoring followers would be thrilled if she took part in the show. That, and no one would suspect that your real target was the Queen all along. But still... Man, Ortho, you got guts. No kidding. You look all tiny, but you just might be more fearless than all of us. I mean, the Queen is the boss of the show, right? Calling her up on stage with us is out there. You think? I just went with the plan that had the highest probability of success. Sometimes you have to be bold to fulfill your duty. With this plan, we'd give the audience an exciting show and no one would get hurt. You've got my vote. Thanks, Silver. What do you think? Arthur's got it all planned out for us. It wouldn't be cool of me to whine about it when I don't have any better plans. Sorry, any better ideas. I'm in. Okay, then I'm down too. Pulling off an illusion like that as a group sounds pretty cool, actually. Jack Howell, Ace Trapeler, thank you for trusting in me. Sounds like we have a plan, then. You'll use an illusion to make the Fairy Queen disappear in front of a live audience and swap out the staff at the same time. Do you realise what you'll need to do in order to pull this off? Well, one, you're going to have to hope she's not got hold of that staff when you make her disappear. What? We'll have to do a good job in the fashion show before we perform the illusion, right? Precisely. Didn't Leona explain that to you, Ace and Jack? Ace, you're quite the fast talker, so I'm tasking you with calling the Queen up to the runway, in addition to making the switch. But simply calling on someone won't make them want to join you if they're the curious and wary sort. Sorry, that should have been cautious and wary sort. And if the Queen doesn't join us on stage, the whole plan is basically shot. Which means that when Silver, Jack Howell and I do the fashion show, we have to be so impressive that the Fairy Queen will open her heart to us and want to join us on stage. There you have it. I trust you're all prepared. Yes, sir. Then let's see how much poise you have. Come on, guys. Let's do this. Right. Take it away, boys. Although all bouncy there. Oh, no. I dropped one. It was going so well. Look at that big floofy jacktail. If you mess up, you can see Ace laughing at you for tripping. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I'm glad that the missions I'm glad that the missions don't require you to get a full combo. That reward flickering is long. Most of those are things from the previous one game. Those are all twist tunes from the previous one. We need to do some more lessons. I need 32 more. I can't see how many lesson points we have, game. 2. Okay, 2's not enough. Also, I can't get at it to add any more. So we're just gonna use the 2 points we currently have. Because I can't currently reach the plus button on the LP.
授業を始めよう。
常識っすよ。
なるほどな。
あ、インク切れた。
朝は苦手じゃん。
容量が大事っすよ。
そうか？
あ、インク切れた。
You just went into the tune thing itself and got them there.
各自しっかり復習するよ。
お疲れさん。次もこの調子でな。
Right, we need 32. That's 5.
口答えはなしだ。
早く終われ。早く終われ。
今はそういうのか。
眠。リーダーは大事だ。
女王様には従えない。
早く終われ。
居眠りをしていた生徒は分かっているな。
お疲れさん。 次もこの調子だな。
3, so we're up to 8. 8 and 2. And we need 32. Alright. I think 6 more LP should do it.
存分に学ぶがよい。
授業を始めよう。
余裕っすよ。
眠
女王様には従えない。
金持ちはこれだから。早く終われ。早く終われ。励んでますね。学園長。
Also, what did I miss in the chat earlier?
居眠りをしていた生徒は分かっている。
今日もまた一つ新しい知識が身についた。
When you say bugs movie, do you mean a Bug's Life or something else?
死後は許さない。励んでますね。
学園長、真面目にやろう。
間違えるわけにはいかねえ。気合が入るぜ。
Do you mean a Bug's Life? It's been ages since I've watched that movie.
ではごきげんよう。余裕っすよ。
I do not remember enough of it.
歴史は大事だぞ。
へん。
居眠りをしていた生徒は分かっている。
Maybe I'll rewatch that.
うん。良い授業であった。これぞ学園生活。
It should be on
口
Disney
答え
Plus,
は
right?
なしだ。
やった。レオナさんに教わったっす。どうすか先生。
予習してきた。
本
The
で読ん
idea
だ。
with the Queen is a call. Oh, it's a callback to Bug's Life.
何驚いたんだ。
Yeah. See.
王様なんていらないっす。
As I said, I haven't watched it more recently enough to to have figured that
今
one
日
out.
もまた一つ新しい知識が身
That's
につい
kind
た。
of cool. I definitely need to rewatch
死
it.
後
Like,
は許さない。
余裕っすよ。
まあまあかな。
王様ね。勉強になるな。
容量が大事っすよ。容量が大事っすよ。
え
今日はここまで。各自しっかり復習するよ。
今日もまた一つ新しい知識が身につ
yeah,
いた。
that's true. Almost all the events have a callback to some kind of films, but I was expecting the references and a fairy-based ones to be more towards Tinkerbell.
あ、インク
Although I
切れ
haven't
た。
watched the Tinkerbell movies either, so
歴史は大事だぞ。
猫と目があった。
oh, that's cool that they have
Yeah,
Disney
thank you.
movies just on TV every Sunday where you are.
俺
Heike.
のボスになるには。
Well, actually, I don't.
へ
I don't watch regular
え。
TV.
へ
I actually can't for some reason my
居
aerial
眠りを
cable's
していた生
broken.
徒は分かっているね。
Something must have happened to it while I was getting the
うわ
The
知ってる
Windows
ことばっかり
replaced.
退屈な授業だ。
授業を始めよう。
Then again, I don't really
Yeah.
notice because there's only a couple of times a year when I watch
歴史は儚い。
regular TV.
早く終わ
One of which being Eurovision, which is soon.
る。眠
But then I'm not usually at my own
歴
house
史
for
は
that.
儚い。
お邪魔しますよ。学園長、真面目にやろう。
わしが教えてやろうか。
居眠りをしていた生徒は分かっている。
置いていかれないようにしねえと。
We're out of LP, and I wasn't counting the dust, so we're gonna have to look. Oh, we overshot. That's fine. Belgium has no chance, huh? I haven't listened to any of the songs because I like going into Eurovision completely blind. But from what I hear, Sweden's probably got it this year. People seem very confident about Sweden. I mean, Sweden always puts in something pretty good because they've got Melody Festival and To Pick It, which basically works like Eurovision. You're missing out, Heike. Eurovision is amazing. Leona's tattoo is a callback to the Lion Guard. Huh. I've never actually watched that. Phew, how was that? Vil? It seems neither Vil or Ace are very impressed. Ace Trapula, why are you two so quiet? How was our runway walk? What score would you give us? A 2. 2? Out of how many, Vil? Is it 2 out of 10? Or 2 out of 100? Or 2 out of 5? Like 2 out of 10? Don't flatter yourselves. 2 out of 1,000. Oh! Oof. Not even out of 100. You're an embarrassment to the outfits I so painstakingly tailored for you. You clearly don't understand what a fashion show is. I couldn't agree more. All Ortho did was fly. All Silver did was walk. And all Jack did was flex his muscles. Yeah, but Vil? That's attention grabbing. You'll never showcase the true charm of your attire that way. Are you taking this seriously at all? Okay, Vil's switching to scary mode. I'm with him though. If that's the best you can do, the Queen'll turn our invitation down flat. This calls for some serious remedial training. Listen up. You need the Queen for your illusion in order to swap out the staff. I'm not asking you to put on some glitzy performance that leaves the entire audience awestruck. Simply put, what I want is for you to do a show that the audience finds entertaining. A stirring display that's evocative of the future. One that makes the audience want to be part of it. I dub this plan Operation Elusive Evolution. And it absolutely must succeed. Right. Entertaining. Stirring. What would that all entail? Well, I hope that Bill's going to tell us. Given that he knows what he's talking about. Alright. That's the end of the currently available story then, so that is also the end of the stream. So, thank you all very much for coming, it's been fun. If you're new here and you've enjoyed your time, please consider subscribing to the channel. You can also follow me on social media, which is linked in the description box below. My streaming schedule is posted both here on YouTube in the community tab and also over on social media. And the next scheduled stream is Friday, and that's, yeah, Friday 7 PM, and we're back to Pokemon Violet for a little bit, because there's still some classes I need to take. So, hope to see you then, or another time. Once again, thanks for coming, and this is Kalla, signing out. See ya! Bye bye!